Good evening and welcome to the January 23rd meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And again, good evening and welcome to staff members that have shown up here and those of you that have tuned in. We have no public hearing this evening. Any announcements from the board? Additions or deletions to the agenda? Anything that we need to add or delete? We have an appointment this evening. We have Deputy Town Clerk Christine Torno with us for initial discussions of the timeline for the March 6th special election for possible purchase of property. So I'm going to turn it over to you twos.
Well, also, let's just remember, we don't yet have a signed purchase and sale agreement in hand.
Right.
So everything is tentative here, but I think it's wise to plan this out in hopes that it does happen. We do have a willing buyer and a willing seller, and hopefully that purchase and sale agreement will happen this week or next. So Christine has done a good job pulling together this timeline, and we tentatively picked March 6th for a special election. And we also, before we get done here, we want to talk about where we want to do this if it happens. I put out a feeler to the school about using Massapequa East, and I guess it also wouldn't be a bad idea for Selectmen to consider such an election here if Christine thinks we can get enough ballot voting booths in this room, so we can talk about that too. So that's just my opening statement. This is really more her time to chat about what she created here, which I thank you for.
You're welcome. So I just quickly went down through and set, some of these dates are set in stone, some of them have a little bit of flexibility, some of them don't. But if you chose to pick March 6th, tentative, it's tentative right now, but if you chose to do that date, if you follow down, we do an election, we start at the election date and we work our way backwards. It's just easier to date that way. February 23rd, you must have your public hearing to go over the articles. And I put a little note that February 20th, you could probably do it at the Selectmen's meeting, would be the best thing. And then you keep going down your February 20th, you post the warrant at least 3 places in town. We posted at 5. Sherry's already working on the warrant and the ballot, just in case this all comes into play. She's got a little draft over there she's been working on, so that's great. February 16th, posting of the hearing at least 7 days prior to the hearing, because we have to, let people know about that. And the charter says we have to put it on the website on February 13th. Absentee ballots must be available by February 6th, 30 days prior to the election. And January 30th ballots to be created, proofed, and printed, just so we're ready between the 30th through February 5th. But we do need the in-house, because we have to have them by that time. But we do have to, have the warrant signed, so hopefully we'll get that purchase and sales agreement no later than January 30th. So that would mean you'd have to have a special meeting, and you guys would have to come in and sign that warrant if we get that purchase and sales agreement for all this to come into play to get it done with by that timeline. So as far as being in this room, Nancy and I came in and looked in here the other day to try to figure out how we can set it up, because we have to have so many feet from the election box when people check out to when they came in, just how we set up. We could do a horseshoe in here. I have to have at least 25 booths according to law because of how many registered voters we have. So I think we could do it. We'd have to move all your stuff right against the wall, because Pete said he wouldn't want to take it all apart. So if we could move it all the way back and make a horseshoe, and they'd come in, check in here, and go out that way. We could direct it right. I don't think it's going to be a very big election. I mean, it's a quick election, one question. I don't think you would have a huge amount of people that would probably come and vote, but you never know. So we want to be prepared for.
I guess my first gut reaction is if it's, and I would assume it will be a small turnout, we should do it here. I think it's easier to manage, right? We've got it all. It's easier for folks to say, hey, I'm going to run out. I don't see that there's a parking issue. I wouldn't anticipate that we're gonna have hundreds of cars out here with people coming in and out, you know. I would think even if you look at a town meeting vote, how many votes in the last town meeting were?
Less than 50.
You know, well,
Town meeting floor, you
no,
mean?
no, the town meeting the vote, the actual.
The actuals, usually a typical town with nothing else happening, no state thing, usually 500-600 at the most.
Right. So if you look at 500 or 600, what, 20% of those are gonna be absentee,
Probably.
right? So, you know, you're looking at, you know, maybe max of, 400 people or 350, 400 people that are actually gonna come through the polls that day. And there might be a little gang up, certain hours of the day. But
Yeah, here and there, people coming in don't realize maybe they'll come in and vote at that time. There's another question, if we did do it in here, I had put at the top, if we could start at 9 a.m. and go to 8 p.m. Of course, that all gets posted. I don't see us needing to start at 7 like a typical election. So if we started at 9, I think it would give people enough time in the morning, lunch, and then in the evening to get their ballot cast if they chose to come.
So I know we don't keep records, but certainly Bob would know, and you would probably know, at the June town vote, we opened at 7. Were there more than 10 people there?
Yes. Usually, it depends on what's on there, but usually a lot of people will come in before work. But that's because most of the time, even in June, we have something from the state. So you have the state and the town together. So you'll get, and of course, the selectmen, and they all want to make sure they pick the right one. So,
But the November election had an even longer line right at 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
typical.
Well, but that's,
But I don't know if I would see it depending on, if we, this all gets posted with the date and time on it. We could really advertise that it starts at 9 and went to 8. That would give us time to come in, set up in here in the morning as opposed to, because we have to haul all that equipment from the school to here if that's how we choose to do it, all the ballot boxes. And we have to have one handicap booth, which we have over there. Everything's over there. So we'll have to haul all that to here to set it all up. I did call Judy and Jim Kyle. They're both, one's a Democrat, one's a Republican, so to have people to already check in. Said it's all tentative, and they said that's fine with them. They will work it if we want them to. I called Robert Powers already because it's such a short notice. I wanted to make sure, and he also said that's fine. So we would have the right amount of staff. So
Would the lobby be closed that day?
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Because
You
we
might
would still
capture,
have,
you could capture a few extra votes maybe there.
absolutely, yeah. you
right, I
could.
mean, even if you had to rope it off so that there was a, if something that came right into
Corral.
this room, right? I mean, so the business would be roped off separate from the people just accessing the polls, right?
But we can do both at the same time.
We can. Yeah, I don't see why we couldn't. I really don't anticipate it being busy. So that would be
And
good.
it seems like it's such an, I shouldn't say ordeal, it's a big commitment from the school side to have us over there and not be able to use that room and have to, monitor people coming, the general public coming through the building, which they're very concerned about. And as long as the Board of Selectmen is not concerned with changing the location, which we've taken.
I think we're setting ourselves up for confusion for June. I mean, the last time, remember the outcry there was because they didn't know whether they were going to vote, whether it was over at the middle school or up at the high school, and there was a lot of criticism there. And so I think that consistency has its merits in this case, and I think we're trying to shoehorn too many things into this small space here, plus the burden of lugging all that stuff from the school to here, and then they're going to have to bring it all back and set it up back up there because we're going to have the June, referendum.
That's no great challenge. This stuff's pretty portable. I think the only big concern here is the change of venue and not being consistent.
Gordon has a good point. We've had people all over the lot here. The meeting was at the middle school, voting was at the Massabesic East, and so we've created a lot of confusion. But
If you advertise it properly, there shouldn't be an issue anyways.
Well, there always will be because
at least people have said there always is.
Yeah.
How many booths do you set up in that gym or cafeteria, whatever it is?
There's 30 regular booths plus there's an AVS, which is the states, and the handicap, so 32 really.
But we have to have 25.
We have to have 25 because
Does
we have
that
over
include-
5,000 registered voters.
Does that include the handicap?
Yes.
Is that one of the
Yes.
25?
Yep. Can be. And they fit, you have to have it so when someone comes in that door and it's an election place, if they're getting checked in here, they can actually see everybody. Not, you can't have them back to back, you can't have them so they can't visually see how they're coming in and coming right back out. It all has to be open to the public and visual, so.
So we would check them in over there, they would come through and probably go out that door down there.
They could, well, no, they'd probably have, they'd have to check their
Back
ballots
out,
out here, 6 feet from all the booths. So that box is over here, it's gonna have to be checked out. They have to be 6 feet from all this. We did measure a little, it'll be tight, but we could put the boxes right up there and they would check out and go out this way
So you're gonna horseshoe from there coming this way?
and right back out
Okay.
if we did it in here.
So this will be all dead space over here.
Well, I can put the
Backside.
booths as far as, I mean, I can go like this and go like this and go just as tight, I'm gonna have to go just as tight as I can, right up against everything. All that would have to be pushed right back and all this would have to come out. So either way,
I just think we're trying to shoehorn too much in a small space.
I just don't know if we can get the school. That becomes an issue.
I didn't, Colin called me back earlier today, and I wasn't here to take his call. He wanted to talk about Massapequa East on that day. So I haven't touched base with him.
What is the, nothing that says it's gotta be on a Tuesday, right?
No?
No? No?
Got Saturday in your mind?
Oh, that's just something that I've just, if there's a concern with the site, if we did a Saturday, I understand it's a long day but you wouldn't have to, you probably wouldn't stay open until 8, right? Is there a state requirement?
There are requirements for
The
hours.
requirement for hours are 4 consecutive hours.
Right.
That's all you'd have to
So
stay
you
open.
could say we're opening at 8 and we're gonna be done at whatever, 4 or 6, and that's it.
Were you thinking Saturday in the eyes of here or over there is being easier?
Either way, I mean, I'm just thinking is, if it's an alternate day, what is the likelihood that you would get more voters on a Saturday than you would on a Tuesday?
I'd like to say it would be high.
I'd say it has to be at least a few more, a noticeable amount.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's no, the fishing derby isn't then, and there's not hunting season, so, you know,
Super Bowl's behind us.
the Super Bowl's behind you, so they'd be more inclined to.
Well, we're not doing anything until we get a signed document, right?
Yes.
And I think the timetable, whether that's, if it pushes a week, then we're gonna have to push a week, right? So, and there's nothing magic about Tuesday the 6th.
Right.
You could do it Saturday the 10th, right? Or, I mean, I think that's what we need to, let's see how this shakes out, but I think now, you know, the time frame is gonna push a poll. I get, the question I have, which I assume, as soon as an absentee ballot is available, people can vote that absentee ballot.
Yes,
correct?
that's correct. Yep,
So they can start voting 30 days in
prior
advance
to.
of this.
Yep. And they all get sealed until
Right.
election day,
Right,
and then
right.
we'll take them out, because we're gonna hand count at the end of it.
And you
so-
would handle those here anyway, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna set the booths up here, no?
Yep.
Yeah, no machine counting on this, totally hand count.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't have time, well, unless we build it in, we wouldn't have time to order the ballots and have them done
Yeah, and for
and
1
have
year.
them back
so-
here for 30 days.
I don't understand why you have to order a special ballot. The thing scans a certain amount. I think we could be smart enough to build a ballot that would scan. But that's,
But you gotta program it too.
yeah, okay.
Oh, in the computer. But it's a one question, yes, no question. It would tally out pretty fast, I think, because, you know, they have to go in lots of 50 at the end of the night when you hand tally, so I don't think it would take very long at all, so.
All right. Any other questions, comments? I think, you know, Gordon brings up a good good point if we jerk people back and forth to different sites. And I guess the possible alternative for the school not being available, we could maybe push it to a Saturday vote. That's not unheard of, right? I mean, it's unheard of here since we moved. We started voting not the same day as town meeting, but for years we voted Saturdays. Had the town meeting on one end of the gym and voted on the other end of the gym.
There isn't going to be a Friday that the school is closed.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
What is school vacation?
It is
It is the
February
19th of February,
February, right?
and then the 16th of April.
Yeah.
19 to 23.
One's too early,
I would
one's
say
too
if
late.
you did it during school vacation, but then you're really pushing it out then.
No, we can't do that. We can't meet it. We
You know,
have to
you
have,
can meet at the 6th of April vacation.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a buyer that
Yeah, I understand.
Billy would like to be paid before that.
I'd like to finish it before then, just because June election is
Yeah.
going to be a
Okay.
crazy one.
Yes, Christine and I are thrilled at the possibility of ranked choice voting. Well,
Well, you're not gonna rank choice
Less hard
vote, you're not gonna rank choice vote state. The only possibility is the federal, right?
Well,
That's the argument right now.
well, I just got a notice from the state of Maine on the people's veto about ranked choice voting. If they
Yeah.
get enough signatures, it
Oh,
could
they're gonna vote on
it could
yeah.
change the whole process on how we do our voting in June. That means the state ballot can only go in one machine and the town ballot will have to go on another because they said they can't set up. They will not, well, I don't know if they can't, but they won't set up the town information on the same
But the rank-
disk as the other one, so we have to do it
So
with two
I'm
separate
confused, I
machines.
know we're off topic here a little bit, but
Yeah, sorry.
ranked choice voting, I thought the referendum that they're trying to get, the people's veto, if you will,
Yes.
would be a vote in June to veto the legislation, right? It doesn't, just because they get enough signatures doesn't mean that, oh gosh, we're gonna implement ranked choice voting.
Well, I'm not sure, but the state's saying it could affect them, so this is how they're
I
going
don't
to
understand.
process. Well, I haven't read the whole,
I would think that there's gonna be
Papers
a
yet,
vote
but-
before.
they're giving us a heads up. They wanted to know how many towns are also having a municipal election with the state, because they're telling us they can't run them together. So it could be interesting.
Yeah,
so.
the only real argument I thought that was left is the federal piece of it, right? I mean, it's not against the Constitution to do the federal elections ranked choice voting. It is against the Maine Constitution to do state, right?
You'd have to change the Constitution.
Right,
It's a
so
plurality.
even if they have a veto for the people's veto the veto is just gonna push the legislature to then require a state constitutional change, right?
Well, that's
And
what.
it's in the legislature can't do that other than present that to, I mean, I
can't do
believe
it
that I believe
Yeah.
that's 2-3 years away.
And I'm not sure what the state is seeing in there, but that's the legislature they're sending us. So
Okay.
we'll worry about that when I guess it comes down.
All right, yeah, so
Right.
it's kind of a moot point for this, but I mean. All right, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Christina.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Any public comments? Sherry or Dave?
Not this time, I just want you all to know that we are proceeding in a positive motion for this whole thing. We have Sebago Tech.
if you're going to talk about water district, let's get it recorded.
Yep, David Benton with the Waterboro Water District. As we all know, this is very important to us, and we are working in the direction of getting, we already have Sebago Tech on board to do the engineering, and they're just waiting for this decision to be made so that they can go in the right direction.
Are they gonna be able to put together what they feel, I mean, I would guess they could put an estimate together what the difference would be between the two
Oh, yeah,
accessing both sites, right?
that's what we're asking them to do.
'Cause
They already have the other section basically completed, they just
Okay.
We kind of put the brakes on it because of this. So,
Yep. Okay.
we also.
So there's some urgency from your perspective as well. I mean, not that you're gonna start tearing up Bennett Hill Road this summer to put a standpipe up there, but sooner than later, right? So you gotta make a decision which way you're gonna go.
Yes. Yeah, because it's going to make such a difference in the amount of money we have to come forward with. And that's going to make a difference on how many rate increases we do.
So I think that's the other piece, that we probably need a meeting with the water district and his Steve Levy's organization's there, but he's retired, right?
He's retired, yeah.
So I would think that we would have to sit with Maine Rural Water and look at how do we work together to make this happen, right? Other than just a lease, but.
We might even be able to get Steve to come out of retirement
Oh, that would be nice, yeah.
to help us a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. All right, thanks, David. Correspondence, treasurer's reports. Reports and staff initiatives, selectmen's reports. Anything from the board?
I have something. Last Wednesday, the planning board unanimously approved the expansion of the Little Ospey Lake campground. And this is a business that will bring tourist dollars into the town with a minimal impact on the taxpayers. So I think that it's a pretty positive move. And I'd like to thank the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Boza, for making this investment in Waterboro.
Okay. And do we have all of the details of, I think the planning board sends that to us, right? Once the finding of fact or whatever is done, right? So,
I don't know if you usually get the minutes or just the findings of fact. I'm not sure.
Not sure either.
They're both available.
They're pretty extensive.
Yeah.
and so the approval is based on the current zoning, right?
That's correct.
Yes.
Right. So
They waited until changes were made to the campground conditional use portion of the ordinance. We changed some setbacks, we changed required widths of right-of-ways. It was a 50-foot, one time it was a 50-foot cleared road, just not a 50-foot right-of-way,
So
other things like that.
When did that get approved? The changes?
Oh, gosh, that was 9 months ago.
This is more or less, I think, a new application. That this is not the first application.
Right. They came in October, I think.
No, what I'm
With their
trying to get
application.
to is that I thought that there were gonna be some changes to the zoning that affected what the campground, because they couldn't, what they were proposing couldn't be done within the current zone, right?
It was more the campground space and bulk standards, the
Right.
setbacks with the roads and things
Okay,
like that.
so how would those have changed if it hadn't gone through a zoning change?
It did, you changed those things.
And it went through public hearing with us?
Yeah.
'Cause
We did that a long time ago.
Okay. I just don't, I guess, maybe it's my age. I just don't recall.
It's been a long, complicated
Yeah.
application. It would
I
take some
know,
research
yeah.
to get the whole thing down.
Okay.
The
I would
campground
just-
ordinance was not separate.
Basically, you're asking, we didn't miss anything, right?
Yeah, well, what I'm asking for is did we in fact approve changes to the requirements for campgrounds within the zoning package?
We'll get you that answer as to
And if
when you
my
did that.
memory, and it could be my memory, okay? I just don't remember it. But, and if that didn't go through an approval where we approved it, I'm not sure how any of those things could have been changed.
I appreciate the concern, but I'm very confident
All
that
right,
we did
okay.
that.
Thank you.
So we'll get that
You
information.
don't have to, you just send me an overview of when it did, and I'll have to get my memory back.
Take a
Yes.
pill.
Yeah, maybe a pill or two, I don't know. All right, anything else from the board?
No.
Gordon? All right, Gary.
Notice you do not have a report in front of you tonight. Everything that I've been working on, which has taken all of my time, is budget, as well as the Malone and purchase and sale agreement. So I guess the only other thing I have to do is a general budget update to the public and the Board of Selectmen, saying that even though we only have 3 members on the budget committee, and sometimes attendance is a real problem, we are recording the meetings, and David has started to get them on the website, so the budget committee members, as well as the public, can go back and watch them. They've changed their meeting times to 4:30 p.m. in Town Hall until further notice on every Thursday until they're done. This week is the fire station, and that is pretty much all we've formally scheduled. If there's some additional time, we could do municipal buildings, assessing, and general government. And other than that, Thursday, February 1st is code office, town clerk, tax collector, treasurer, IT, and the code officer, treasurer Julie, and IT director Dave will be there then. Thursday, February 8th is leases, planning department, planning board, ZBA, and general government. Thursday, February 15th is insurances, capital improvements, and any other remaining budget items. And probably David Benton and possibly the fire chief will be there again that night, because we need to start talking about buying a fire truck. And if we don't do it this next year, we'll have to do it the year after that. Thursday, February 22nd, I'm hoping that that'll be the final budget committee meeting in which they talk about recommendations that will be coming to you, and then we can have some joint communications about workshops with the selectmen and the budget committee.
Just as an aside, when we start to talk about buying another fire truck,
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to see the whole fleet profiled out with expected retirement dates.
The maintenance costs.
And so we get like a 20-year vision of what we've got. I mean,
He's got that now in terms of the date of all the vehicles. We can certainly add to that.
I mean, I just like to, I mean, we bought it this date, expected life expectancy is X miles or X years or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that's how RSU 57 does buses, right? So many are bought, and there's a projection of how long that's going to last. And
Yeah, the buses are 10 years and 210,000 or 220,000 miles. before they
right,
get
so
anything
I would
on.
assume that we have the same kind of criteria for fire trucks.
I think engines, don't they go by hours, like tractors and stuff like that? Because a lot of times you'll sit at a scene and they'll be running. I mean, they won't be putting on any miles, but the engines will be running, the pumps will all be running.
Well, it could be, whatever the requirement is, but we ought to be able to look at it and say, okay, over the next 10 years, we're gonna, every 2 years, we're buying a truck, or every 4 years, we're buying I mean, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
Kind of go, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, we need one now, right?
Well, we're closer to that than the other at the moment. The only other thing I had outside of the budget was Jean Rundgren is retiring as of February 3rd. And I didn't know if you folks are from the library. She's been with us since 1996 or 7, I think.
Yeah.
And they're having a small get-together at the library. I didn't know if you folks wanted to, be there, myself, and present something, or have something separate here. Need your input on that, please.
Well, I would think it would be more apropos there, right?
I would
Rather
agree.
than bringing them.
Yeah.
So you said February 4th?
February 3rd
Third.
is her last day, and I'm not sure if they're doing it that day or not.
That's a Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it should, I would think that it should be there, and I guess really the question is, do we set it up so that the board could be there in mass if we need to be, or whatever. Just so it's posted that.
Well, do you want Julie Hoyle and I to work and
Yeah.
do a plaque?
Hang on
Or?
while I die.
I'll get the plaque, if you just give me the dates and the correct spelling of their name and their middle initial, and, I don't have a problem with that.
So let's do that,
Okay.
okay? Anything else, Gary?
No, thank you.
All right, let's move on to new business. Discuss vote for an appointment to the planning board for a term to expire June 30th, 2018, which is this year, right?
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that,
Yep.
which is pretty appropriate.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to appoint Sam Hayden to the planning board for a term to expire June 30th, 2018.
I will second that.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Sensing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All right, discuss a vote for an appointment to the Community Center Steering Committee. What is your preference there?
Is there an expiration date on that one?
No.
Okay, I make a motion that we, was her Heather? No.
Tanya.
Tanya Thayer.
Tanya Thayer.
Tanya Thayer.
And we appoint Tanya Thayer to that new Community Center Planning Committee.
Okay, I move that.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded to appoint Tanya Thayer to the Community Center Steering Committee. Any further discussion?
Just one point, I guess, and that is to what their charge is going to be. I sent you a document this afternoon,
Yep.
and I think they
It's got
need
nothing
to...
to do with her appointment though, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so let's get through that and then we
Yep.
can have the discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. You don't have it anywhere else here, right? So why
I
don't
do
you?
not.
So the charge to the committee?
Yeah, I think that something needs to come from the Board of Selectmen in that regard, and we don't need to decide that, obviously, tonight, when it's not on the agenda. But
Well, let's start to put something together and then we'll call them together and I guess present what we see as a
Yep.
charge to them.
I sent that to you this afternoon just as a discussion starter, so do with it what you will, and I'm
Okay.
sure you have some own ideas of your own.
All right. Discuss a vote concerning the Waterboro School Choice Week. We're actually nationwide. This thing started Sunday. And forgive me for being a little bit late with this, but putting it on the agenda. But this is just a declaration, right? Proclamation. That the Board of Selectmen, therefore, the Selectmen recognize January 21st through 27th, 2018 as the Town of Waterboro School Choice Week. And we call this observation to the attention of our citizens. So, what is your preference there?
That's this, okay.
You all had that in your packet?
Yes. Well, I say, it looks like a positive thing to me. I think we ought to just sign this proclamation, saying that
So,
we recognize the January 21st to 27th, 2018, the Town of Waterboro School Choice Week.
so is that in a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? So be it. All right. Discussion concerning absent budget committee member.
Mr. Briganti apparently
Rich
lives in Ohio
Briganti.
now.
We're pretty sure he's out somewhere in Ohio, at least that's what Facebook tells us. And he was a good active member when he was here, but I don't think he lives here anymore. You can leave him on the committee in case he shows back up, but because we're down 2 people now, we have 1 vacancy that could be filled by anyone applying now. We're so deep into the season, I don't see that happening. So we don't need his resignation and his vacancy at the moment, but the day that we do, I guess, we would.
Well, is there a way that we can contact him? Or?
I have tried,
Okay.
and I've left messages at the house that he owns here. I got no phone calls back. I even sent him an email on his Gmail account. I mean, who changes their Gmail account if they move to another state?
Nobody.
Nothing back. I called his cell, which I thought I had, and nothing. So There's nothing else I can do, or I'm going to do anyway, to see if I can locate
Well,
him.
let's see if it gets to a point where we need his position, then we'll just
That's fine.
deal with it.
Yeah, we do not need to make that vacancy now.
All right. Discussions concerning the June 12th election and whether to close the town hall front counter for the day.
Sharon would be the only one left to work. And I don't think that's fair to her in the middle of voting and ATV season. We can certainly put Sharon to work at the polls that day. And I would recommend that we advertise heavily in advance and have good signage here that day, but not have to have her wait on the public. That could be a pretty sizable line that day. I mean, she won't even be able to go to the bathroom that day at that time of year for boating and fishing licenses and all that sort of thing. But she definitely would be the only one here. That's because Georgia will be out on maternity leave,
Okay.
and everybody else will be at the polls.
I'd be in favor of closing that day. I think there's, a number of security risks of her being here by herself in the
Well,
building.
just the front lobby. I mean, everybody else will be here, so it's not town hall, it's just the front lobby.
Yeah, still think there's a
Is there
security thing.
a way you can swap Monday for Tuesday that week, so that the building is open the same amount of hours for the public? And advertise that for that 1 week?
We don't have these people come in and work on Mondays. I mean, I suppose we could do that, but we've got a big 10-inch letter sign out front that says closed on Mondays that some people still read. We could take that down for a day, I guess. We're trying to ingrain that into folks that we are not here and open to the public for Mondays.
I don't see where that one day is going to be, that closing it up is going to be that.
I mean, it'll generate some phone calls to perhaps you folks and me.
It's
But-
going to be four straight days that nobody has access to the building to do business with the town.
Maybe 4 straight days.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Well, no, Ted, the rest of the staff will be here on the 12th. I mean, code enforcement, I mean, the building will be open. The only thing different is you won't be able to buy a fishing license or register a boat from the 4 workstations out front.
Okay.
So, code office and all that sort of thing. Jerry will be here.
Okay.
Well, I think certainly it's going to be advertised. There's no getting around that. The last thing that we need to do is to have people show up here and don't understand why they can't get something done, so.
We'll put it right out on the sign. Front lobby will be closed. You'll probably put it up there the week before.
Any other comments? Okay.
I'm not hearing indication either way. So,
Do we need a motion, or?
I move that we close it on the day of the election, June 12th.
front lobby, 4
The front
stations.
lobby's closed, not the town hall.
I second that.
Okay, and moved and seconded to close the town hall, to close the front lobby area, or the services in the front lobby on election day, the 12th of June. Any further discussion?
I think just, if you're going to advertise it, make sure it gets out there on the social media pages too, because that's what everybody looks at.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you.
We can give that to the Sandy Bennett early warning system too.
That's a good one to use.
All right, old business, continued discussion on dedication ideas for the 2017 annual town report. Anybody come up with anything?
One idea that I think Sherry forwarded to you, Dennis, was
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it would be
maybe a year
more
earlier.
appropriate this year or next year.
Right.
My thought was this.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
From a
Yeah.
You know, we did this a couple of times where we've recognized folks that have contributed immensely to the community, and you know, still we're not recognizing them after the fact. We're recognizing them while they're still alive. So that might be a good one to do.
That's an
I
excellent
think
choice.
it's a good choice.
Yep.
And, you know, I'd like to have an opportunity to at least have that discussion with kids and whatnot to see if that might be appropriate, so.
Yep.
Okay.
You gonna do that?
Yeah, I'll attempt to make that happen here in the next day.
You need that in the form of a motion, or just?
No, I think let's find out first whether the family has any issues, and then we'll go from there. And then we were looking at, I'm trying to remember, we did get the full, I've got it in my other folder. We got the full list of everybody that, page 1 and 2. Yeah, it was funny, we only had
Page
people.
okay
that-
wasn't
Yeah, we
existent.
only had people from, the last name started with L, to Z, that passed last year. Okay, where are we now? 10,
11.
All right, we're on 11. Discuss and vote to approve the minutes of the January 9th town meeting, selectmen's meeting.
So moved.
Move, do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and second, and any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, motion carries. We get the comprehensive plan task stuff, week's action list, I think we're all set, right? We just, the push is gonna be the,
Hopefully purchase and sale.
Yeah.
I'd like to think we'd have that done by this Friday. I just don't know because I haven't heard back from him, but we'll try.
I think on the action list is follow up with the school to make sure we can nail that down.
if that is done, is there, and we call a special meeting for next Tuesday night? Is that a problem for anybody?
Nope.
It's gonna be a 5-minute meeting to
30th?
launch this whole process, right? But let's see, make sure we've got it in our pocket first before we schedule anything, but as long as everybody is aware of that, we might put out a call, right?
To come in and just vote that?
Just vote on that,
For purchase and sale?
yeah.
Okay. So not the date of the election,
Well,
not the place
I
of the
would say
election?
that the two issues would be
Okay.
kind of intertwined, right? One, we get the purchase sale, the other one is that kicks off the date.
Mhm.
And I think we ought to have some,
Who do we have working on an informational thing that we can either hand out or have published in the paper
well,
on the importance of this document?
David's gonna contribute stuff from the water district. I think we've got the piece from us. I think there was a fair amount from the 2020 committee.
Well, I wrote up page and a half today that talked about fire suppression, talked about the water district aspect. I didn't show it to you this afternoon because I wanted to get David and Matt's input, fill a couple things in, but if you want a copy to chew on, I'll go print some out, you can take it home with you.
What,
I did just that you're talking
what
about.
chapter was it in the 2020?
I would have to
report?
refer back to my
Does
encyclopedia.
anything, huh?
Maybe.
I did not bring in any of the comp plan stuff, that's a good addition.
Yeah, the
Plus, it's on the edge of the new proposed TIF zone.
Right.
It wouldn't be
right.
hard to wrap that around. We have excess capacity.
Yeah, we don't need that as.
So why don't we bring that in, why don't we bring that up at the next meeting, okay? So that, we would talk about that on the 13th.
Right, speaking of the 13th, I will not be here that night.
Maybe we get some stuff done then, huh?
Okay.
You don't mind me picking on you.
I don't know if I can FaceTime from where I'll be, so, but, yeah, go ahead.
Will you want us to FaceTime you in?
No,
I'm sure he'll be at his residence.
no. No, I will be out of the country.
Sounds intriguing.
But you
Okay.
get those people house sitting.
All right, so let's bring that back for at least a brief discussion of what it is we're gonna present, and kind of pull all the pieces together. Not that we're gonna create it that night, but I think, maybe some ideas of, let's add this, or put this in, or whatever, so.
Well, let me get that input from David. He's here now. I told David and Matt this afternoon there was no rush on this, but now that the selectmen want it, maybe you could look at that in the next day or two. It won't take you 5 minutes to fill in the blanks that I had in that from the water district aspect. And I can get that to you before the week's out here.
Okay. Anything else? Anything else that you want to add to the agenda next meeting?
Sherry, do you have anything? So far, it's going to be a slack meeting. Well, undoubtedly, things will come up.
Can we,
With all these issues going on.
let's add in there, I know we're a little bit late, but, the first half financial review,
Yeah.
okay? Because we've actually got half of the year under our belt now. And more than anything else, that'll go out in the packet, so that they can,
Sign above your name.
I always do.
okay? If nothing else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Then move to adjourn, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed?